What's going on YouTube? It's your buddy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel. We're online at www.what'supinthesky.com and welcome back to another Mars anomaly. This is from Sol 727 into the Curiosity Rover, and this thing looks to be, to me, I've looked this over a bunch of times. I've asked family members, I've asked friends to take a look at this. Chell sent me this picture. He sent me a bunch of good ones lately, and this he didn't mention this down here though. He talked a lot about these perfect circle in the block up here. Like I'm going to show you in 2 seconds here. There's a perfect circle here, and what also looks to be some all sorts of neat stuff just in this area. See this perfect circle platform looking thing right under there? They go here too. It looks to be a broken up statue right along here, but here's really where it gets interesting to me. This looks like a basically a Martian alien, or either a uh, one that had died and is laying there in rest. And if you're starting to come into play, I haven't touched it yet at all. So you're basically looking at just what it came from with NASA. I haven't given any, just play with the exposure or anything. It looks like it's almost in a suit of some type, or it's a carving of that type of, like a depiction of it. And here's where I'm going for. And I'm gonna bring it in so you can see it a little bit more, and then I'm going to switch through some of the other slides I have to bring it out, and then we're going to play with this one a little bit, and I'll show you what we came up with. So here we go. Here's where I'm looking and seeing this. We've got one eyeball right here, perfect circle. We got another one right here. There's a brow ridge that covers them. Above it there's a third eye looking piece that almost looks like a headdress. So here's the head, there are two eyes. There's a nose right here in the mouth, which is a typical shape of the alien type gray race species or whatever. And maybe when they were on Mars, maybe they needed to have a nose. Maybe it was something that they needed there. Um, Honestly, it looked like something just came in, and this guy was in his suit taking a nap or something on this what looks like a gurney or something along those lines, or maybe he was a victim of something. I don't know, but to me this looks like something. And let's go. I'm just going to show you what I've done. I've played with this picture for a couple days now, um, just to see what I could get from it. This is just some of the stuff that some of the attempts I made at making it a little bit easier to see and kind of sharpening it up a little bit here and there. There is some blurring going on in it, but it looks like, here's the guy's face. This comes down, his arms, come down around here. Let's see where we at. Stuff's laying up on top, but you can see, under his suit or whatever this is he's in. I'm gonna say he's in. Looks like legs, and to me this looks more carved out of like a rock or something, but you can even see the legs, and here with some sort of shoe or something on top of his feet. um, I see what I see, you see what you see, and let me back out a little bit. This should be in 10 HD. If you're watching through 1080 HD, it's going to be much better for you to see. um, let's check some of these other ones out. That's pulled it out a little bit more, and that was just another one I had used to spice up some of these other ones. I thought that was, I mean, look at the depth of the face. Some of my family members saw that right away. It looks like there's tubes and stuff that are on this, whatever this contraption is that he's in, or was in at one time. Who knows what this was? Like I said, it looks like it could just be something that just went, died out and was there. And if you look close, look here, this kind of seems like there's a little baby alien attached to him. One-eyed, big mouth, same type look to him too. Um, Maybe was there. So interesting stuff, interesting stuff. Let's go back to the one that we've got that was really heavily sharpened. Um, this is it right here. Yeah, that's it right there. That hasn't been done anything with it. So what we're gonna do is let's take a quick look around here and check some of these other anomalies out, like this one right here. This one pulls out a lot more when we do the contrast and stuff, but you've got like a line coming up around here. See how it's kind of like curved up to here? This looks like it's worked that way. Then it comes straight across, and there's like some sort of piece here. You'll see it. And then this looks like a face, and then something carved there. So whatever this was looked like it was something ornate. It maybe fit into some part. Over here, you've got another piece that looks like it's been chalked in sideways. It comes up like kind of like a helmet would, but not a helmet. Like you would expect like to see like a spaceship or something like that. It comes up at the top. It's like a fin. Um, so let's do this. Let's show you. Let's play around with this. Let's go ahead and there's not much else in this picture up here too. That's what's kind of interesting about it. It's really packed down here in the bottom of stuff. And to me, there's also this mushroom looking thing down here. all sorts of good stuff. I was really excited when I got this one. He had said this perfect circle looking platform and the square ones, and my stuff went directly down to here. And even when we start playing with up here, these things look like arms and stuff that have broken off of somebody. And you're gonna see exactly what I mean here in a second. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's do since we're playing with the exact image. Let me show you this the image from NASA. This is it. I didn't, I'm not fibbing or anything. Here's got the NASA link right there. You don't have to do that. Just go. You don't have to sit here and copy it. Just go straight to my description. If you're new to my videos, I always link everything, so that's usually never a problem. And if you find an old video, some of my old videos are some of the best. I've done all sorts of anomalies, and sometimes they've changed the way they link. So if you ever see one that doesn't work, if you send me something, I will get it working. So just let me know. And here's, all right, where we go? We're going to go down to here, and then we're going to do some basic stuff. Let's not change the color yet, but let's go ahead and add the um, let's add the exposure just a tad. Kind of, I like the gamma. When you put the gamma in there, kind of just, you can see what it does. It's kind of pulling that darkness back to it. And I just brighten it up with the exposure just a little bit, and that's okay. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go up here. We're going to take the layer, and where are we at? Where's my layer? Filter. And we're going to sharpen it with a Smart Sharpen, which is just a standard tool that comes with Photoshop. There's some better ones out there, and I'm gonna be looking into doing. I figured out how to get through some pretty decent stuff today. I got a black and white video that's coming up here soon that I was really proud of myself to actually make this thing look like a normal thing. It's one of the ones that had the lines on it, and if you know, NASA puts these out every once in a while, just have these hideous lines. Alright, so that's what the preview was on, that's what it off. I want to make it subtle, I don't want to make it too in your face, because we also have another option. We have a couple different sharpen tools in our pockets here that we can manually hover over these things, which I've been doing. It seems to pull it out a lot more. So let's see here what we have. That's too much. Let me drop it back. I had it at a good spot there for a second. And let's hit the preview, turn off, preview on. What? See, now you can start seeing in these rocks around it. This is an area that looks like it's just been blown to pieces. And in the rocks, you see that a lot of them have these like perfect little divots in them or little holes. And you'll see up here where stuff used to be, connected. This looks like the chain link fence or chain link thing. Up here you've got also what seems to be another little statue. This is cool right here. It looks like this was straight up and just fell back over. And we'll take a quick look at here and some of the actual symmetry and the geometry, and this is just totally amazing. Um, so let's go back to our main guy here that we've been looking at, and that's with just doing those two things, and hopefully you can see him there. Like I said, I see the headdress and the face there. To me, it's like right in my face. But let's just, for giggles, let's use this tool right here, see if we can't pull any more of it out. It's kind of down here around it. See, I love these tools. This is the sharpen tool. You can really pull out the lines and see exactly what's. Sometimes it gets like up here around the. I'm pointing at the screen like you see it, where my mouse is basically. It gets a little bit bright there, so I got to be careful about doing that. But it does it makes it pop, and you can see where, like, here, just an example. Let's see. Let's just pick a random rock out. These two rocks right here. There's a lot more to it than you see, and sometimes there's little spears on it and stuff like that. So there's the guy right there. He's got his thing up around here. Here's, like, it's amazing. He's got the legs that come down and everything, even to where there's some symmetry from the geometry from here to there. It's almost like little tubes that run around that can go up. Maybe a depiction, maybe just a pile of rocks, but to me that's an amazing pile of rocks. I think take a really good look at it. I'll back it up a little bit. It looks like a mummy or something you would see. So now let's go ahead and go on over here and check out some of these other anomalies. The circle thing is just self-explanatory. It looks like the base to something. It looks like the base to whatever the hell happened here, whatever fell over. This looked like some of this piece should have been somewhere else. This piece should have been something else at one time. And when you really sit here and if I wanted to get meticulous and kind of pull out some of these behind the scenes things, you're going to see that they're awfully ornate. Like, look at this one here. See the ball up there that starts coming out of it? But you get these patterns. Here's the S again. Oh, I almost forgot the coolest thing here. See the S pattern right there? In that, so that's pretty tight. Look at, I mean, that's a very tight cut, whatever that was, and that's a lot of degrees. Now here's where it's cool. Check this out. Once again, letters that we have here on Earth are on Mars. So what happened? How would English letters get here on Mars? More and more, I'm really starting to question myself. You know, what are we doing? Is this thing on Mars? Are they these tags? Is it just a coincidence that these things come up all the time? And here's what I'm talking about. I'll just spin it just a tad since we're in Photoshop and we are allowed to do that. You probably already see it now if I'm going in. The initials RI are RL. And I'll just do a brief little over it so you can see it maybe a little more. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's on like this piece that runs totally across and it gets blurred out here. The blur blocks, as always, you run into these blur blocks when you get from NASA. Anything that's dark on the side or anything, and I think it's being done by the rover sometimes. But check here, there's on this piece that's next to this what looks like an RL or maybe it's not. Maybe it's a different, a different symbol or something like that. But it's definitely there. Look at that. This is what I'm talking about when you use this tool. That I brought it way too much there, but look how much detail is really there. That's just hidden from the blur of the picture. um, which I think is added. The blur is later on. Now this is kind of neat to me. These little when you start sharpening this stuff up, you see that this is not just here right in the middle of the thing. You got one, two, three little dots. That's just there. There's your RL again. Um, all right, so moving right along in search of good times and good news. Gosh, that thing looks like a little alien guy. If I had ever seen one here, and I've done a lot of these videos, and I usually don't talk about stuff like this because it's so far-fetched. Um, every time I put out a video like this, people will mock me. It's so funny sometimes. People don't realize that all you gotta do is search YouTube for like "What's Up in the Sky 37," and then search Facebook, and people can see what they say about you. People either love me or they hate me. You can love or hate. It's up to you. I'm all about love. Here's what I was talking about. It looks like something's either growing up this rock here, or if this is even a rock, or this looks more like a piece of something, like a building or a facade. But check this out. He's kind of got two eyeballs, a big smiling face right there, and a nose. If you're looking straight in the middle of the circle there, that's where the smiling would be. Um, and around it, like I said, you've got more and more of these. That's just interesting. See the different angles in here. We got 190 degree there. There's a dot, different colors. 90 degrees here, and it just keeps on going. You got three dots right there, and then right here, once we get it with the sharpen tool, you'll see it sharpen right up. Another thing, just going right up to it and meeting up here. What's the stuff? What was that for? I would just love to have been able to see Mars when it was in its heyday. If you watch my videos a lot, you know exactly what I believe. Well, at the time, because anytime I get new information, I let my paradigm be rewritten because I can't stand to be in that top down method of everything we've got now. It's just total bull. It's the hassle of it is just bad. What are we accomplishing? And we accomplish a lot, but we're not getting past these thoughts of let's really figure out what this stuff is, and not just stuff with Mars, but in general from top down here. Um, this is a weird thing. Like I said, it's got this like fin to it, and the fin is beveled. It's almost like you could take it apart right here and kind of lift it up, and inside of it would be like a little box or something like that, a little room for something. Um, I found that very interesting, and my eyes went right to it. And this whole shelf piece right here, this is just another thing. Let me pull it in pretty tight so you can see what I'm talking about. How random some of this stuff is. But then you look at here, this stuff looks like it was placed and maybe upright a little bit more at one time. But as I run look how it's got, like it's almost like chain link, but the stuff is actually machined out with, a chisel or something. It's got little spheres on it. At some point, there's a little sphere down there, and the next row doesn't have that. It's just the other. See let's see here. Now look at the gap. Look how right here. Look at the gap between that there. Look how thin that is. I mean, that's amazing to be able to cut that with that series. Or if it grew like that, or that people, some people say, oh, that's shale. You need to go back and learn your geography, or you need to go learn this. Like you guys know what my school. I didn't tell anybody what I've gone to school for and what I know. All I do is say, I see what I see, you see what you see, and people just feel like they need to attack. Um, but a lot of people are not attacking now. The more and more this stuff comes out, and the more and more people see it, the more apologies I get. Actually, the more people that I've actually had to ban from the channel because they would be fighting with other people and just being derogatory. If you've got some jerk being derogatory on my channel, you let me know and I'll get rid of them. I can't, I can't moderate every single one of these videos comment sections, and people can get brutal. So I don't want those assholes on my channel, but. I just try to clean that up a little bit just so you can see the complexity of it. Over here, there's two little balls in the middle of it. Looks like just a pedal going that way and another one going up. So that's all. Everything here is interpretation. That's why I label my videos. If you notice, I label them all entertainment. And to me, it is entertainment. It's my hobby. But this little thing down here definitely looked like some sort of animal or something. It was just chilling there. This little rock caught up under that. Right up under this stuff that's like shot straight up perfectly and it's just sitting there being held by, I guess, the gravity of this up here, which looks like it's not that um, heavy, but it could be. Look at this, almost looks like a surfboard in here. You see the shape of it, kind of? On this end, it's got some different things. More and more stuff. All right, guys. Let's see. Let me get to the thick of it. I'm gonna start. Whenever I start using this tool, it's bad for the videos. I guess it might be interesting watching it unfold. Sometimes I can't. I don't know how you guys watch these videos. I love you for it because it's amazing what you guys support me and the this key group of people keep me making these videos because we get new ones all the time. New ones come in, but it keeps the troll crap out. Now check this out. A lot of for my little guys, for people who love to say that there's little aliens on this planet, little small 4, 5, 6, 7 inch ones. That's kind of interesting right there. It almost looks like there's just a kind of shadowed out figurine back behind it, but that's just a I see what I see thing there. I don't think many people are gonna see that. So. All right, let's keep, there's a couple little trinkets up here I want to mess with, and here's another thing right here. This looks like, and you can tell because it's got the shadow under it, this thing's just sticking straight out of the ground, headed that way. And that what makes me think that this stuff is just buried. The sand's buried. Of course the sand's buried. Before that, what the winds, or what the winds, the water, whatever forces shook this planet, the electrical storm that did it in, or whatever your theory is. I'm really starting. Thanks to the people that turned me on to the Thunderbolts Project channel, because I'm really starting to understand that concept about the electric universe, and it seems to make much more sense in the current model of our solar system. And the guys do incredible work with their videos. They must spend a ridiculous amount of time doing it. Um, a ridiculous amount of time. More just kind of stuff up here, whatever the hell that is. And this kind of looks like the little heart piece up there. See how it's got there? Let's see. Anything else we should run through here and show you? And watch this. I just love this tool, how it just kind of sharpens everything up. Now, if you're running it over top of something that's not, that's got like a blind effect or something put in there by NASA, it kind of jacks it up. But here, let me one more thing I'll show you. This looked like the carcass of some sort of water snake or something along those lines. Like this looked like the head to me, and it looks like it had been used up pretty good. Or was it entrance to something? So you've got these blur out tools that goes right through here. It's blurred out, and I could do this as much as I want. I'm not going to get anything other than that, which is a shame. Which is a shame. Up here, look at I tell you, you could download this picture, stick it in your library for sure. I hope you guys have gotten, if not, come watch the videos all the time. I hope you guys at least download them, because that's what I love for you guys to be collecting these as well, just in case they go away one day, or we don't have the internet. God forbid the internet just up and dies one day, and we're not going to be able to get to it. You got something to do. You got something to look at. The computers hopefully still work. Um, all right. Anything else I want to go over other than that? Oh, this bar right here kind of looks like just like a straight 4x4 running through there, and it just goes down on into sand like everything else. More metal looking things coming out of the sand. Like, hello, we're here. And let me just do this one thing on this area, then I'm gonna let you guys go. I showed you guys the RL, which to me it definitely stands out. It's amazing some of these things that stand out like that. I picked it up right away and I said, wow, that's either somebody's tag and they're adding that, or what if they were using our languages? What if they were using our symbols, or what if this was not even on Mars? A lot of people say that. I hear it every day on my channel. I get a lot of comments, and I try to get back to as many as I can. And a lot of people say that this is no such thing. No such thing. So the rovers didn't go anywhere. All right, that's enough of that. But you see now on top of this thing, this little chunk of whatever that's kind of sitting here, just kind of chunked out up by our L banner, our Ralph Lauren banner. They're in the business of Mars now. You see these little things kind of tossed in, but let me back up a little bit. I thought this was interesting when you just looked at it back up. Kind of looks like this is kind of hanging over top of it. It's in there like a little pipe. But so you got your circle. This my boy Chels sent over. But this right here, guys, this was what the one thing that said to me, I need to get this video and make it and just go ahead and get it out there and see what people think. People already think I'm either nuts or I'm, or they're not either. Maybe they don't think that. They're just the trolls that say it. I see what I see, you see what you see. But to me, I definitely see what could be a statue of some sort of being, um, a mummified being, or possibly a couple beings in a suit with maybe one here on top, couple little ones that are hanging on. Um, Nothing I don't think's live here. I think this is pretty much a catastrophe area here. It looks like something went kaboom in this area. So, all right, guys, much love to you. Hope you're having a wonderful one today. What's up in the sky 37? My name is Will. Come check me out. Check the website out. That's really what I should be plugging. Whatsupinthesky.com, because we've got a lot of good people putting their videos up on there, and you don't have to rely on your feed where YouTube takes half of our videos and doesn't show you that it's there. If they put their stuff up on if they put it up on my page, you're gonna see it. So there was a couple other interesting things out here that I missed that if you look at them, you can pull them up yourself. They've got a lot of those blinds effects I say that NASA uses when they see whenever the rover sees parallel lines, it adds these across it. But I thought this kind of did look like maybe one of those heads you'd see somewhere on Earth, but I left that up to you guys once I had this right here. This is just too good. This is good enough for me right here. Where you at? Where you at? Bam. All right, guys. Much love to you. Take it easy. Peace.